How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Crypto Clout, the YouTube show where you subscribe for the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency news and price updates and all the great stuff that you love in cryptocurrency world. Today is, of course, July 20th, and we're starting off the day with this, of course, Charles Hoskinson coming out of Twitter retirement, and he put out this Cardano research paper, details some very important things about Chronos, of course, how it's the best protocol and they've ever written, and definitely interesting. Goes on to read some pretty interesting. I mean, the PDF file, available publicly for anybody who wanted to download it and give a read yourself. Definitely an interesting little piece of content here. Proof of stake has been shown to be a suitable replacement in many respects for the expansive proof of work mechanisms introduced by Bitcoin protocol, and this is just the first abstract and different sort of perspective on what we always sort of are going into detail pretty consistently when you want to talk about the context that Cardano is currently existing in, when we want to think about something like Bitcoin, and then of course the natural evolution of how we've been seeing blockchain that really sort of evolving along a path that's in a lot of ways predictable and in a lot of ways they're completely unique to its own. And this is also very relevant when we want to talk about the future of a project like Cardano and looking at how, of course, we will be seeing smart contracts and all these other relevant things in the cryptocurrency world. And so we'll definitely be talking about that. And of course, top performers, we've got IOST, Aurora, Icon, Bitcoin SV. Interesting always to just take a peek at the top performers for posterity purposes, just to see where things are going. And then in broad cryptocurrency, Bitcoin related news, of course, we saw Bitcoin knocking on that 11K door, and definitely very interesting stuff. It's still very bullish sentiment now developing in the space regarding the overall views of Bitcoin. Interesting how that was able to make a pretty swift shift, of course, from where we were seeing it only a small time ago. And this is all sort of heating up in the context of Bitcoin versus Libra. And this article, CNBC, much like much of the legacy media, going into talk about key differences between Libra and Bitcoin, and definitely a lot of that conversation has been boiling up. And I think that it is sort of an interesting advertisement when we want to talk about Cardano and the greater Litecoin sort of Ethereum XRP world, the broader cryptocurrency altcoin sort of space in the context of Bitcoin dominance being where it is at the 65.3. That's insane, isn't it? To think about 65.3% of the space dominated entirely by BTC. That is very interesting. It does bring us to think, I mean, of course, naturally we would see Bitcoin's price go up, market cap increases, and then some of that money, once it's more confident in the crypto space, can then boil over. And I think that with Cardano being where it is, impressive as it has been as far as developing the foundation. Really, I've got to give it to Cardano for taking their time, and where it's all too often we see various altcoins in the like sort of venturing off and attempting to get themselves on the scene, and this always not necessarily paying off as well as it would be perceived to actually see itself out like that. But I mean, we want to talk about Cardano and how they've been able to do so. It is interesting just to see now, and this stuff all coming in the context of this Ouroboros Chronos. And when I was going through and reading this, I couldn't help but have an idea, sort of a vision, almost like looking through a portal to see what the future of the cryptocurrency space is going to look like. And I think Cardano is representative of the vision of where we're going to be seeing this technology evolving. And I think that that will greatly correlate with the 6.2, the 0.062001 value that we're currently witnessing as these things continue to move themselves forward. I think it will be very interesting to witness, of course. And then in other news, Fidelity's crypto wing seeks New York State trust. This is also interesting, going for that license, and definitely interesting to see the cryptocurrency pie, as it has been referred to, being more sought after, more I think that it's no question now, about where cryptocurrency is headed, where it's on course to go. And it is interesting to see all these other entities getting in on the bag, and it's going to be interesting to see. Let's get this crypto. Of course, Facebook's Libra likely to intensify regulatory scrutiny. Definitely something interesting there, as we saw during the hearings. Of course, Libra being talked about in all these other aspects of being regulated like actual money. And then of course we have to think about Bitcoin. How much, like the airplane sort of situation, and of course the declaring all these other things and these regulations that are going to have to be ironed out. It's just the way things are. The Wild West giving way to regulation, all these things. Definitely a good sign of adoption, but at the same time, it is interesting to see how these things are sort of meshing with the existing paradigm structure. Facebook Libra continues to grace the headlines with high stakes questions regarding its potential risk continuing to dominate the news. Libra's existentive scrutiny had corrected the crypto market significantly, with rumors suggesting that the continuous project would lead to tighter regulatory surveillance over Bitcoin and cryptocurrency industry. All eyes on Bitcoin, essentially. And it's interesting to see how a lot of these different things have been coming along. All these different eyes paying attention, and this is good. This is good and obviously bad, whichever way you want to look at it, but it's necessary. It's going to happen either way. And I think it's important for this conversation to be happening right now. Of course, this is a key time to sort of start spreading the love. That's why I've been making this video talking about Cardano and all my other favorite cryptocurrency projects. Of course, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your dad. This video is not financial advice. Of course, remember, I'm only making this video because these are my thoughts, my personal feelings. I'd recommend you all to do your own research on the topics at hand. But of course, remember, I am interested in Cardano. I'm interested in seeing where these things are going. My personal opinion on Cardano is I'm very excited to see where the project's going to take us. And I could see easily a new generation of wealth rising up from the cryptocurrency ashes. Of course, people do talk about the pendulum swing, the sort of cryptocurrency space as it's developed, as we've come to know it, and then of course where we're going to be seeing it in the future. And I think rising up from the ashes of the altcoins, we would be seeing stuff like Cardano and the like sort of projects that have been able to develop for themselves up until this point. And I think that it will be interesting to see that. Let's get this crypto. Of course, we've got Bitcoin, the best shot at holding sound money, says India Crypto Exchange CEO. Definitely interesting to see how things have been shaping up in India and all the greater parts of this globe, where we've been witnessing a lot of different things happening in the cryptocurrency space. I'm sure plenty of people have been hearing, Jeb at the water cooler sort of conversations sparking up, heated debates about where we're going to be seeing a lot of these different aspects of the space, making a lot of these different key developments. And I think it will be interesting to see, where Bitcoin and all these other things are perceived in the near future. Now, of course, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the content, and of course all the points that we've covered. I think we talked about a lot of great things, interesting hot button issues in the space, and I'll see you guys next video. Have a good one.